Hi there. My name is Sarah, and today I want to share a story about how I turned a simple trip to the market into a fun way to learn English. When I first started learning, even small tasks like buying fruits felt so challenging. I didn't know how to ask for prices, talk to people, or even understand their answers. But guess what? Every little step helped me grow more confident. And today I want to help you take that step too. In this story, you'll join me as I visit a local market. Together, we'll learn how to ask for prices, understand simple responses, and build your confidence to speak English in real-life situations. Make sure to turn on the subtitles and repeat the new words and phrases with me. By the end, there will be a fun challenge to test what you've learned. Ready? Let's go to the market. It was a bright, sunny morning, and the market was buzzing with energy. Colorful stalls filled with fruits, vegetables, and spices stretched as far as I could see. The smell of fresh produce mixed with the chatter of people bargaining in different languages created a lively atmosphere. I clutched my shopping bag, feeling both excited and nervous. Today was the day, I thought. I was going to practice my English here. As I walked through the market, I saw a stall with shiny red apples neatly arranged in baskets. The sign read, "Apples $1 each." I paused, realizing I'd need to talk to the vendor to buy some. But then doubt crept in. What if I said the wrong thing? What if the vendor didn't understand me? I took a deep breath. I can do this, I whispered to myself. To prepare, I thought about the words I'd need. Well, I knew that one. How much is this? That's how you ask the price, right? Can I have? Perfect for asking politely. I repeated these phrases in my head as I approached the stall. The vendor smiled warmly, which gave me a little confidence. "Excuse me," I said, my voice trembling slightly. "How much is this apple?" The vendor responded kindly, $1 each. I nodded and silently repeated the answer to myself to remember it. Then I practiced the next phrase I had prepared. "Can I have 3 apples, please?" "Sure," the vendor replied, placing 3 shiny apples into a paper bag. As I handed him $3, I felt a small wave of pride. I'd just spoken English in a real situation. With my apples in hand, I moved on, feeling a little braver. The next challenge? Buying bananas. With my apples safely tucked in my bag, I walked further into the market. My confidence was growing, but I knew I needed to keep practicing. With a newfound sense of determination, I kept exploring. Looking around, I spotted a stall filled with bright yellow bananas. A small sign read, "Bananas $2 per bunch." Good, I thought. I know how to ask the price, but this time I'll try something a little different. I rehearsed in my head. How much are these bananas? This phrase would help me talk about items in plural, which was new to me. I stepped up to the stall, smiled at the vendor, and said, "Excuse me, how much are these bananas?" "They're $2 per bunch," the vendor replied, gesturing to the neatly stacked bananas. I nodded, silently repeating the answer to myself. "I'll take one bunch, please," I said confidently. The vendor picked a bunch of bananas and handed them to me. "Here you go," he said with a smile. I handed over $2 and decided to practice one more phrase. "Thank you," I said cheerfully. "You're welcome," he replied, making me feel even more at ease. Walking away, I noticed how smooth and natural the exchange had felt. Sure, I had been a little nervous at first, yet I had managed to ask questions, understand the answers, and even make a small connection with the vendor. As I strolled through the market, I replayed the conversation in my mind. "How much are these bananas?" A simple, polite way to ask about the price. "I'll take one bunch, please." A phrase I could use again for other items. "Thank you." A perfect way to end the interaction. Each sentence was like a tiny step toward fluency. Looking around the market, I wondered, what should I try next? There were so many stalls, so many opportunities to practice. But for now, I had my apples and bananas, and I felt proud of the progress I'd made. Let's take a moment to break down the phrases and expressions we learned at the market. These are simple but incredibly useful in everyday conversations. Asking for prices. When I asked, "How much is this apple?" I was asking about a single item. This structure works well for any singular object. For example, "How much is this book?" "How much is this pen?" But when I asked about the bananas, I said, "How much are these bananas?" Why? Because bananas are plural. For more than one item, we use are instead of is. Here are some examples. "How much are these shoes?" "How much are these flowers?" Practice switching between singular and plural to get comfortable with this pattern. Making a request. When I said, "Can I have 3 apples, please? And I'll take one bunch, please," I was politely asking for what I wanted. Both phrases are great for shopping or ordering. "Can I have a sandwich, please?" "I'll take a coffee, please." Notice how adding please makes the request polite and friendly. Expressing gratitude. Saying thank you is always a good idea after completing a conversation. It shows politeness and leaves a positive impression. And when someone says thank you to you, you can reply with, "You're welcome." "No problem." Common mistake to avoid. Some learners might say, "How much costs this apple?" instead of "How much is this apple?" Remember, use is or are when asking about the price. Your challenge. Now imagine a market stall filled with fruits and vegetables. Write down or say how you would. Ask the price of apples. Request 3 bananas. Thank the vendor after your purchase. Feel free to share your responses in the comments or practice with a friend. If you enjoyed this story and found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and comment below with your favorite phrase from today's lesson. Let's keep learning together, one story at a time. Thank you for learning with me today. See you in the next video.